evening, everyone. My name is Gopal Krishna Anand, Associate Editor of OEM Update Magazine, and I welcome you all to the OEM Magazine's interactive session on Aerospace and Defence, how MSMEs can build a sustainable business. I have my colleague, Ms. Rajeshwari, Editorial, OEM Update Magazine, to introduce the panelists and tell you more about this interactive session. I welcome Ms. Rajeshwari to take over and moderate the session.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to OEM Update Magazine's interactive session on Aerospace and Defence, how MSMEs can build a sustainable business. The aviation industry is booming in India, and innovation is the key to any industry that is rapidly changing. India is among the top 5 military spenders and an emerging defense manufacturing hub worldwide. The defense manufacturing industry is poised for growth with the increasing security threats, growing demand for defense equipment, etc. Further, to enhance manufacturing capacity, 2 defense industrial corridors in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu are being set up in India. With improving infrastructure, India's aerospace and defense market is estimated to reach around $70 billion by 2030. IATA forecasts that global passenger numbers will double by 2036, rising to 7.8 billion annually. There is a strong growth in commercial air transport for India. Evolving technologies and smart new materials will bring further opportunities, change, and manufacturing challenges. Graphene and carbon nanotubes are some of the latest materials used in aerospace manufacturing technology to improve the efficiency of aeroplane wings. The combined efforts of the government and private players will propagate self-reliance in defense, generate employment opportunities, and spur the growth of private domestic manufacturers, MSMEs, and startups. The Defense Ministry has set a target of 70% self-reliance in weapons by 2027, creating enormous prospects for industry players in aerospace and defense manufacturing. It's an honor and a privilege for me to introduce you to today's distinguished speakers, Mr. Indradev Babu, the past president of IMTMA, Mr. Rizwan Khan, Sales Manager India, Supply Point Systems, Mr. Uday Dikshit, the Product Sales Manager Optical, IQS Kalzis, and Mr. Alkapan, the Technical Director of Ripple Aeronautics Private Limited.
Well, we got new learning into activities in aero and defense sectors by our industry experts sharing their views. Mr. Indradev, you are talking about the customized built machine for aerospace manufacturing and sustenance, as well as emerging opportunities and drones. So from your view, what initiative does the Indian government provide to the aerospace industry to prepare for the growing demand for drones, passenger traffics for MSMEs?
As I already touched upon it, which is that the government is very bullish and trying to provide an ecosystem. So the first thing the government has done is they put a policy framework so that the security concerns are managed on one end, and there is ample opportunity for the participants, whether it be manufacturing participants or users, to take benefit of it and deploy the opportunities, the bandwidth that drones will give in our life. But the policy framework is made in such a way that there will be a gradual, growing, and the ecosystem also will develop along with. So this is the first thing that the government has done. But to encourage, the other thing that the government has done is the PLI scheme. Compared to the big PLI schemes for, let's say, in automotive and in electronics, this is a smaller amount, but yet significant that the government has given this opportunity to develop. So these are the 2 things. And then the government has simplified the regulations a lot. Earlier, you needed to get a plethora of licenses and so on. Now only a few more simpler certifications and so on are required. So this is what specifically the government has done. Apart from that, the many other, the government's support for MSMEs, all those will be available for MSMEs getting into the aerospace sector. Because for the government, the MSME sector do enjoy several benefits for the for the MSMEs to sustain and grow. So all those can be leveraged.
That's quite nice. The license Raj is gone and things are picking up quite fast. There was a question also from one of the attendees, where and how to approach for a new business in drone components.
Actually, today, as you just now said, there is no more license, Raj. So you have to register yourself as an MSME only to get the MSME benefits. And perhaps you have to get your GST registration, nothing, just like any other MSME. There is no special permission required to get into these areas. So to the ASA, from a certification or approval, we have practically nothing. Whatever applies to MSMEs, that is what applies. But let's say you want to apply on the PLI scheme, then there is a site and you have to go through that and you have to apply. The last year's the quota is over. But then next year again there will be opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities are quite numerous. Mr. Rizwan Khan, you are talking about the sustainable models.
Right.
How do you see digital solutions in assisting inventory and supply chain management in shop floor? And also how it provides cutting edge for Indian aerospace and defense manufacturing.
See, I would like to summarize a answer to both the questions in one go, because when we look at the challenges in supply chain right now, the most important task is to have a link up between the customer, your supplier, and your team inside the factory, So when you have a solution like ours in your factory, you are first of all going absolutely paperless. So when I say we help you go paperless, we mean paperless. So right from your consumption to reordering of the new items, you are absolutely on the system. So when we talk about going digital, it's all about having a workflow, right, from the consumption to ordering a new item with a dashboard for your team sitting in their cabins. So that's where, when we talk about having a digital solution in the supply chain, that's how it helps you a lot to go absolutely paperless, integrated with your ERP, and also connected to your stakeholders. Moreover, the same is applicable with the aerospace and defense industry. So now when I say, for example, we are manufacturing any aerospace component and need to have a data for next 20-25 years, it is possible. So when you are going digital and you are going with the system, definitely your data backups are stored for years and you can retrieve it any point of time based on the batch number or the job number or your whatever is the component specification. So definitely going digital is helping medium to small scale industries in a better way to have a better and more organized control on the supply chain.
Yes, Mr. Rizwan, digital is the future, rightly said about it. Mr. Uday Dikshit, challenges for quality inspection to meet regulatory requirements and measuring results. You are talking about this, then I need to know what role do IoT or AI digital technologies and simulated data have in helping secure components, maintenance and inspection?
IoT, yes, it's very important to have a very close control on your production process. You want to avoid as much wastage as possible. You don't want to produce not okay part, and definitely you don't want to supply a not okay part to the customer. That is ruled out because it attracts a lot of penalty. It's very important to capture the digital data from every stage of manufacturing process and monitor it, as closely as possible. Very easy. It's not at all difficult now. There are many solutions available in the market. Even with Zeiss, we have solutions which can be upgraded from single system to multiple system to multiple plants to multiple global locations, all possible. Just to give you a small example, you are producing a part serially, continuously, and you have set up some tolerance limit. And just to ensure that you are not producing any not okay part, you can set up another tolerance limit, say 70% or 75% of the actual tolerance. So it will show you, it will turn from green to yellow, before it goes into red. So it actually warns you before you are going to produce a not okay part. So you are able to take a corrective action before something going wrong. So that is the advantage of having a robust IoT systems in place, and which really saves a lot of cost and efforts for you. It also helps building the confidence on your customer, because he knows that you are monitoring the whole process very closely. We can go one step ahead, and we can directly dump the whole measurement result onto the server of the your customer. So there is no manual input, nothing. The customer directly sees the serial number and the measurement result directly on his server. It's also possible. So there are many options available, and they are not very costly also. It all depends on how big you want to build it. So this is very important. IoT is really very plays a very crucial role in this.
Yes, Mr. Uday. Digital technologies are becoming a cost-saving equipment source. Mr. Algappan, you were talking about needs of upgradation for MSMEs and quality. In your view, how defense and aerospace business can leverage MSME manufacturing?
Yes, 9000. See, initially, this has helped the Indian industries from ISO. People started working with ISO. Then AS 9100 has made them to be vulnerable business people, which they can approach even in international aerospace industries. That's made them helpful to have a business system. Even we have some contacts as a Ripple. We have done some business with the international industries. Maybe because of now the pandemic situation that has slowly stopped, we have to come back in a quick session. Maybe in a couple of, maybe in a year, the business may come back. So this quality is the main thing to make you business anywhere in any aeronautical business. Quality has to be without question. It has to be 100% there. See, today, even for we are working with Airbus related some business, business oriented. Even area which was not heard, traceability in even tooling. So we have made ourselves upgraded to that. So from buying the material, we keep the traceability, NABL report, everything. And there onwards, quality reports, supports, everything is CMM reports, formats, standardized formats, everywhere it is done. So the question of doing the doubt for anybody is not there. So we are sustainable in this now.
Yes, sustainability is the point in focus nowadays. Mr. Indradev, how do you look at local talent training for manufacturing opportunities for aviation facilities under Skill India initiative?
Actually, the question needs to be answered from different perspectives. Okay,
Right.
Whether resources are available, yes, but whether skills are available, perhaps no. The reason is it's emerging, and we need to have more and more skill development agencies. This is actually a challenge in every area. The demand is more than the supply in terms of skills. So I think a lot of in fact, there is an entrepreneurial opportunity there itself in terms of skill development itself can be a huge entrepreneurial opportunity. I feel that is something that should be leveraged in all spaces of manufacturing, not just in aerospace. So training and skill development is an important, very important, ecosystem required for the industry to move, and it helps employment and growth and development. So this an yes or no answer. I don't have a specific answer that we have enough. I would tend to feel that we don't have enough, but we need to do more training, and so that the demands can be supplied.
Definitely. Advancing technology needs training, and that has to go on. Mr. Uday Dikshit, what are your views about this? You were talking about the training.
I definitely support Mr. Babu's comment. Yeah, training is a most vital part, and every company had to invest in the training of their employees, to keep upgrading their knowledge. We are there to support all the MSMEs, as I said, and we also have very wide range of courses available when it comes to inspection and measurement or quality control of the machine, right? From a very basic courses to very advanced courses. There are many options available, and it's not only size. I mean, I don't want to promote our own company only for this. There are many institutes which are offering this. For example, IMTMA themselves have a very wide range of courses available with the centers across India. So there are many options, and this should be explored very regularly. It's not a one-time kind of until you get retired. I think you should keep learning. Yeah.
Yes, exploring and learning is essential for the living beings. Mr. Rizwan, would you like to add to it?
Yeah, definitely. I would say the same, like learning has to be for the lifetime. So it's like we should never stop learning. And for, our systems also, we do the same. Like, we train our customers, we train their people, we train the fresh graduates who are, having their break in the industry or who are trying to get into the manufacturing segment. So as an industry solution provider, we also consider it as our responsibility, to help our young generation to come forward and grow ahead in the manufacturing segment. So in this regards, I would also like to add up, if any of our panelists or if any of our society of engineers and all, they require any kind of support, we are free, and we will definitely dedicate our time to support our generation coming up now.
Yes, younger
Yeah.
generation needs are more to be trained. Mr.
Absolutely.
Alagappan, what would you say about education and training for MSMEs sector?
Education, see, MSMEs, because of their economical restrictions, they don't put more effort on training the people. But I prefer people as people work continuously on training, so that it can develop as Mr. Babu said, that the training is a must. The skill level is low. Skill level is low means why? It is not that skill level has gone out of India. India has grown in personal hand skills very much high over the stage. People have developed, but slowly it is depleting because less in training, people have gone to other area of focus in business. So any MSME industry should or must provide some opportunity for the intake people, training and education. As we at Ripple, we at least maintain a 2 weeks to 4 weeks in a year training for the people. That is one of the things helps the people to upgrade themselves. Even everybody needs an upgrade. Today, even if you take aircraft industries, the biggest challenge is the cockpit has become a smart. People are looking for a smart cockpit. It's the biggest challenge for the designers. So, because the very potential designers are struggling because they are knowledgeable in aerospace, aero technologies, whereas they are limited knowledge in smart cockpits, where IT is playing. This is the biggest area right now. Even small, if you ask me rightly, medium scale industries of Bangalore and Chennai, some of the companies are developing smart cockpits for LUH and LCH products. So that is one of the potential area we need cooperate. That is co-working of old technologies people and smart technologies. That is the biggest challenge today, to adapt the technologies with new ideas, new technologies. So I prefer terms of the MSME industries should focus and put a fund for it and train the people, then do the work.
Yeah, rightly said, Mr. Alagappan. Smart training means smart business. Mr. Rizwan, the technology is advancing too fast. So regarding aeroplane wings, I am talking about what innovative materials could be used in aerospace manufacturing to improve the airplane wings efficiency.
As we look into the development and the changes that are happening around in the aerospace segment now again, and when we talk about making an aircraft which is more robust, but with a a cost-effective and more, I would say, a reliable source of material. So as we can see, the graphene is coming up a lot in the industry, which is helping the industry to make the aircraft bodies and all. So I think that's an area where the focus can be more looked at it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, graphene and nanotubes and other things are there.
Yes.
Mr. Indradev, can you add something to it?
In terms of materials, the world is continuously racing because aerospace is demanding. It needs to be light, it needs to be strong, it needs
Right.
to withstand temperature, and it needs to withstand fatigue. So the world is all the time trying to innovate on the materials. But as such, I'm talking about our country, we need to do a lot of work on that in this area to adopt to new materials. But what is interesting is I'm slightly deviating from materials to process, in the sense that metal 3D printing is making a very big impact in aerospace. What couldn't be initially machined, manufactured, is now possible through this aspect. Even though it's more expensive, it solves a lot of problems and complexities. So this is allied to materials, but this is the aspect. So I guess our country needs to really catch up in terms of materials, because practically I think most aerospace materials are being imported. Okay, even in, for example, drone components are imported, but then in the drone, so many different parts. Let's say you have a motor, then the magnets on the motor needs to be imported. So I think our country needs to travel a lot in terms of developing materials, particularly for the aerospace sector.
Yeah, definitely. The materials needs to be innovated more and more, and as you said, light and temperatures, that is the main two parameters. Mr. Uday, what are your views about the material being used? Because you would be inspecting the materials ultimately.
I would like to again support Mr. Babu's comment. Additive manufacturing is really picking up, and we have very focused approach on additive manufacturing. We have supported many industries to develop the material. I just would like to share one page briefly, and then it shows. So this is like a white paper we have published, and we can help the aerospace customer, to develop the additive manufacturing solution. So we have very standardized procedure, for checking the setting up the process. There is a design parameter DOE and IATA parameters, and then optimized parameters, and then finally the optional results. So this is the procedure we have followed, and we can explain in more detail, person to person, depending on their application. Besides this, we are going to invest very heavily in getting a X-ray. Most of the companies have scanning electron microscope for detailed material analysis. We will also invest in X-ray microscope to go deep into the material analysis, and we will offer the services to all the aerospace customers. Also, when it comes to particle analysis, we have a very unique technology, because Zeiss has the complete range of microscope for material analysis, right from optical or optical microscope to scanning electron microscope to X-ray microscope. So now, for example, in a stereo microscope, you locate or you identify one particle, and you want to analyze it further. How do you take the same particle into SEM and analyze the very particular particle? So we have very correlative metallography. We have very special holders for this, and then we take the sample, pinpoint this particle, and put it in SEM, and you exactly get the material characteristics of this the particle. So there are many technologies available for a very detailed analysis and experimentation, and we can support this research.
Yes, definitely. Many technologies are there. They have to be explored more. Thank you for that. So lastly, I'm asking whether aviation sector can overcome supply challenges by going local.
I mean, that's the whole objective, that we Indians should take it up, very seriously, because that gives us opportunity for business and solves problems for us, and perhaps helps us to export. I think the manufacturing, particularly in the country, is doing extremely well, and I particularly think that it is growing quite steeply. And for this, the ecosystem needs to get developed here more and more to support. So always, when you import, is always a barrier. Whatever you like or whatever you say, it's just not like buying, let's say from Bangalore, I want to buy from Pune. I'm in Bangalore, I'm buying from Pune, or I'm buying from Hyderabad or Mumbai. It's not the same as importing from any other country. So always import has certain challenges and barriers, and security matters. And so on. So domestic economy is improved. I think that is the direction that we need to work. This is my quick comments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Indradev. We are coming to close of the session. Can I request Mr. Rizwan to give a closing statement?
Thank you, first of all, everybody to be here today on the live event where we all tried our best to impart and share the pool of knowledge that we had with us, and also we are trying to share the technology that is coming around. And where people need to understand and adapt these technologies to grow in most effective and an efficient manner. So when we say like an MSME needs to grow, so they need to grow cost-wise, they need to grow operations-wise, they need to grow also into the market. So when we talk about integrating all these three pillars together, that's when a good company can rise up eventually over the period of time. And for this, definitely I would conclude by saying, yes, please keep learning, please adapt new technologies, and also adapt the trainings and the schedule that is going around the world with different companies. So Mr. Uday, Mr. Indradev, Mr. Algappan, I really appreciate your inputs with this, and thank you so much. And definitely for any kind of development for the Indian industry, remember we are here to support you, support our generation, support our people, and help them grow.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Rizwan, and all. We had a very nice discussion going on. We learned a lot of things. Now I would request Ms. Rajeshwari to close the session.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's aerospace and defense, how MSMEs can build a sustainable business. We hope you have enjoyed the session thoroughly. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Indradev Babu, Mr. Rizwan Khan, Mr. Uday Dikshit, and Mr. G. Alagappa. I would also like to thank Mr. Gopal Anand and Mr. Prasad Nair for taking up this initiative. We request our panelists and viewers to stay connected with us on our social media handles. OEM Update magazine is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. So with this, we'd like to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned for more such sessions. Thank you and goodbye.